All right, hello, welcome to 24th of February, and you're getting a trade recap, so let's go straight into it, okay? I'm going to be a bit quick because I'm starving and I want to make some food. I'm not going to make breakfast for the morning, okay? So coming in the day, okay, we did have Trump speaker, I was right. That was so weird. My news calendar at work said that we didn't have news, but look, you can see here, it says we don't have 9 p.m. news, but I knew Trump spoke at 9. Anyway, news calendar. Nothing of importance apart from 9 p.m., which obviously by then you're done with your trading. You're just going to get out because why the fuck are you trading at 9 p.m.? Okay, cool. Daily, we saw that yesterday. We failed to displace through this low. Okay, and I was still coming into the market with the thought that we were displacing lower out of the gap. Okay. Um, I was still interested in taking shorts, right? Solely from this part, right? How we failed to displace. I thought we might get a little continuation lower. Okay. Um, Now let's go on the 4 hour. Why does it do this every time, bro? Um, let's get the 4 hour right there. Okay. So on the 4 hour, why is it so zoomed in and ugly? Holy shit. Let's just quickly go to where price was at. Okay. It's kind of here. So out analysis, we can see that on the 4 hour, the PDAs were being disrespected. Okay, this is the first thing that I should have seen, right? Initially, what I saw was this, and it was moving lower. Okay, but look at NQ. Right, NQ were displacing higher. We literally completely broke through it in two candles. Right, so it's some bullish price action. Okay, but I wrote we can see bearish PDs being respected with the up close candles being respected. So, like for example, price up in here, and we moved a bit lower. Okay, that's what I was thinking at the time. Let's check the 1 hour. Um, on the 1 hour, we can see that we are like a bit in a range, but we can also see that once again the bearish PDAs are being respected. Okay, in this case it was being respected, but yeah, bullish ones are being disrespected. It was in a range, right? But the 4 hour showed strong displacement through a bearish gap, right? Which should have been a hint. Okay, pre-market open analysis. So let's look at London. Okay. London, what does it do? London does not provide anything of importance, okay? It takes out these lows. This was like Monday's PM session lows, which wasn't, I didn't think it was that important, okay? It took out this area here, but then even then, it's not like it reversed and produced like a really good move, you know? It just went down and it just came back up right into its range, right? Let's just actually draw it out so you guys can actually understand what I'm talking about. So, went out of its range, straight back into the range, and then just did not do anything after that, okay? So yeah, I didn't see anything of importance when it came to that. Now, another one thing that I did see was at this point we had an SMT, right? So we can see we sweep this high, right? And then we get an SMT here, right? So I was still thinking that we're quite bearish, and that SMT even further fueled it. Okay. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Okay. Um, what we have here is this is the previous daily low. Okay, so let's go back on the daily. This is the previous daily low, and let's see what happens. All right, so ES sweeps it, NQ does not fail to NQ fails to sweep it. This alone should have been more than enough information, right? Super strong information. And then look, on this candle as well, we have so much movement in one single candle, right? So here I could have had change the state delivery at this point and price retraced obviously in the hourly, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so let's quickly just go back. I want to let you guys know now, I did not take a trade. I don't know if I already mentioned that or not, but I did not take a trade. Okay, so um, market opens. Okay, let's see where market open is. So right here. Let's just wait. Let's show what happens. And boom. Okay, so what do? We open, okay, and we instantly take out this low, and then look what happens as well. We take out the previous day's low, and look at this resting sell side liquidity, okay? This is a very clean draw, right? So we manipulate lower, okay, we manipulate down. Um, yeah. forming entity on the lows. We get a 15-minute change of the space, change of state delivery higher. So let's show this actually. So here we get a 15-minute change of state delivery. Boom. Okay, nice, clean, strong candle with decent displacement. It's not like this one, right? We have a nice clean displacement to it. Okay, so at this point, my buy flipped to bullish, which was a really good adaptation thing, right? I'm actually really proud of myself that I adapted that quick, right? And I was that confident. We get an SMT at these lows here, right? Showing strength, okay? Now at this point, my first initial attempt of a setup, let me actually just show you guys the report because if I didn't check the trade, I can just show you guys what I was thinking at the moment. So, here, we've got to remember that market moves from external to internal, internal to external, and then internal to internal cycle beats, right? So New York AM swept external liquidity. This means that price now is going to want to reach internal liquidity. What are the forms? Well, you can see here on ES, we have this gap, right? We also have other resting highs. Okay. Is that important? Not really. Looking at the 5 minute, we could have a pullback on this displacement leg. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So here was the initial trade that I actually wanted to take. Let's see, let's actually show this. Yeah, so right here it was this. This is the trade idea. So 15-minute change of the state delivery, 5 minute displacement leg higher, okay? And then we have a discounted for value gap. Now, one thing that I messed up on is there's a gap here and I could have gotten entered and then put my stop loss here. Now, why could I have done that? Let me show you. Because on the 5 minute, look, this is an order block, right? So price realistically is just gonna reach the halfway line, something like that, okay? And if it breaks below, then obviously it's gonna be voided and we're actually gonna be bearish. Right, so I could put my stop loss here. It would have been completely fine. Let me see if actually does price actually tap into this? It does, right? And straight away, obviously, we have a really nice clean rally. Like now, this is a lesson for me, and that's completely fine. We also had a volume imbalance here that a liquidity void, sorry, from like last week. Chills, bang, and then it hits it. Okay. So let's get rid of that because I didn't take the trade. So back on the report. I was tied between taking a trade on here. Why? Well, because NQ, if it was to take enter me in, it would have to move a lot down, and if I entered on ES, it would take out this low 100%, but in terms of like tandem, right? Because it will move in an equal range. So I just stuck to NQ for safety, and we can see that I had a very deep value gap. Like you guys can see from here to here, this is the 50% level, and I was going for like about 0.72, 0.79, right? So it's a very, very deep level. It didn't even get a hit on ES. All right. So let's just continue on. So I said obviously price didn't enter us in, and that's okay. So I was gonna say like I'm either gonna wait for PM or I'm gonna wait to see a retracement into a continuation trade where it retraces into a 5 minute displacement leg or something like that and it moves on higher. So this was the next idea. We get another displacement leg. So the bottom was there, top was there, 50% level around here, and I put my buy limit on a fair value gap. Okay. So what happened was yeah, there was a shorting trade that I maybe wanted to take, and I'm really fucking glad I did it because we were in a bullish market, right? So we had a sweep of these highs. We had a 15-minute change of the state delivery. I think it's actually just only a 5 minute, which obviously I'm glad I didn't because I like the 15-minute change of the state delivery. That's like always the strong point for me. So we have that, and then price moves on lower, and I was thinking it might retrace back into this area in which there's a gap, right? But it didn't happen, so I didn't take the trade, right? And I was actually quite glad that there was a CISD lower because it means that there was some form of retracement. Now maybe I get tapped in. Okay. Now that ends up not happening. Okay, that ends up not happening, and that's completely fine. And I just remove the setup. Okay. Now here we have an SMT at the data high, so we can see NQ sweeps, ES fails to sweep, right? And I was saying if we break below this change of state delivery on ES, I'm willing to take a short at these areas here. Why? Because we still had the SMT on NQ. Price may actually want to reach those relative equal lows, right? Obviously, the high time frame view is bearish, right? But obviously, it's not. The comment is wrong. It was bullish. Okay. So when we started reaching New York lunch, we can see we had a bit of chop, right? Which is typical. It's typical, right? Failed to displace below the 15-minute change of state delivery. It was just a wick because it's the 5 minute. It was just a wick, and I was like, all right, that's fine. Now, after this, I was looking at the market in the gym, not too much, but yeah, I was just kind of chilling because I knew that I missed majority of the move of the day, and I'm not gonna like hang myself right over it. So here's the short opportunity that I wanted to take, okay? But pricing it for me in. Why? Because I was looking at NQ, okay? So what happens is we get a sweep at the volume imbalance highs, okay? We also tap into a bearish gap. We see a nice reaction off of it. We get a 15-minute change of the state of delivery. This is our 5-minute displacement leg. We rally on high into this 5-minute gap, right? If I placed my entry here, we would have been entered, and I could have put it here. Why? Because this is the order block. Okay, we probably max tap in. I'd even maybe put it here or just here. Okay, and then targets are these equal lows. Okay, ES we can see actually taps into the gap, right, and then it rallies on lower. Okay, so I didn't enter, no trade today, which is spooky, man. It feels weird. It feels weird. So the lessons I learned, as we can see, is I learned how to not take a trade. I saw that after I trade opportunity. Um, I saw that there was trade opportunities and I missed them only after the fact, right? And that's completely okay. Like an example is this long here. This long would have been clean as fuck, but I missed it, and that's okay. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. One thing I'm starting to notice though, a very common occurrence now is basically on the fib tool. What I'm starting to see a lot is price will reach into the 50% level. So for example, right here, it reaches into the 50% level, it doesn't want to go any deeper, and it just moves down, right? This is obviously coupled with the 15-minute order block, right here. Price taps into it, and then it moves on lower, okay? That's literally how it is. Like, I'm starting to see it a lot now. Like even here as an example, this to here, we can see we just hit the 50%. We miss it. We miss hitting this value gap on ES. Even then, look, there's a gap in the 50%, rally on higher, okay? Let's see if there's like another example of this. There was this one here as well, look. So we have our displacement leg. Maybe on the 5-minute it shows it a little bit cleaner. No, it actually runs in here, so it's valid. Like here, sorry, back on NQ, you can see we just hit the 50% and then we just continue to move lower, right? That's a very common occurrence. So I'm gonna actually pay attention to that a lot more. So I don't have to refine my entries to the point where it has to be a 0.72 or 0.79 level. It's more of a thing where it's a gap in the 50% region. Okay. And then stop loss is looking at the 5-minute or 15-minute order block that gets formed right from the change of state delivery. Okay. So overall, my read on the market in the morning was quite wrong. We had a bullish setup, right? It's only because I was so tunnel visioned on uncompleted candles, because obviously I was looking at in the current market. However, I adapted very quickly, as I already mentioned, which was very good, right? So we had a very nice range today. How many points is that? Like, that is a shit ton. 380 points, which is really good, right? Other than that, there's not really a lot else to say. Obviously, no trades were taken. I do feel a bit empty having not taken the trade. However, it's part of the game, right? You're not going to get a trade. You're going to miss some opportunities, and that's completely fine. It's better than obviously not take. It's better to not take a trade rather than take a rushed, poorly set up trade, right? We can all agree. That's that. Let me actually just delete all these things now. And I will. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to trade tomorrow because I've got a very busy work day tomorrow. I'll try to, but I might have my colleague just like right up my ass. So yeah. All right. Well, that's that, and I'll see you lot maybe tomorrow. If you don't get a trade recap, you guys are definitely getting a backtesting session. I think what I'm going to do when it comes to backtesting is Monday maybe, Tuesday definitely no, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday yes, 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 Saturday, Sunday yes, yes. Okay, so you guys are gonna get content regardless. So that's it, and I'll see you lot next time. Bye bye.